All right, today is Friday, October 5th. We just locked up my Friday trading. My Friday trading is done with. Today, I actually have 3 different trades on a Friday, which is probably any experienced traders that have been in the chat room for a while are probably saying, whoa, 3 trades on a Friday. What's going on over here? And the reason I have 3 trades on a Friday is because I still see volume. I see volume, I see activity, and hey, why not? If we have volume, if we have activity, let's attack. The last 2 Fridays have been pretty solid as well, and we have been seeing Mondays be a little bit slower. So Fridays have been solid, and that's why I do want to attack on this Friday. I did have funds available. As we all know, Friday is the toughest trading day of the week. There's no doubt about that. We have not been seeing easy trades on Friday. The trades that I did today were very experienced trades. They were not easy. You had to know exactly what you were doing at the price you were doing. If you were a new trader, if you were inexperienced in this market, they were very, very difficult to execute. So let's talk about these trades and let's go over each one of them. So first things first, let's show, as always, my P&L. What's so important to me, to be open, honest, transparent with everyone. Here's my P&L on the day. I made a total of $363. This brings my total profit for the week now upwards of $2,410, I believe it is, or $2,410. That's my total profit on the week. So not too bad. I'll take it. Added a nice little $363 gain right here at the end of my week to go out and enjoy my weekend. So that's not too shabby. So I did trade VTVT. Then I moved over to VXRT. Then I went back to VTVT. So VTVT to start with on my first trade, I looked for a bounce play. It didn't work out for me. I closed my trade with $0. I was in at 365, out at 365. Then I moved over to VXRT, looking again for a bounce play, where I went from 615, looking for the 625, 630 break. It didn't work out, so I got out at 618 and 615. I made a total of $30. I got out again. Then again, looking for another bounce play on VTVT. And finally, this was the one I nailed. 394, 393, 392 is my entry. And then I got out at 405, 402, 395 with some bigger shares, more of a scalp play, so I could go ahead and make 363 bucks. This is not, again, easy. As I said, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be an experienced trader to perform these. Now, I want to go over each one of these again so you guys have a full understanding about how I was able to make money off these plays, full understanding on what I did. So let's break down the first one. The first one right here is 365. I got in at 365 on VTVT. So let's go down towards this 360 area, and let's talk about this play. Let's talk about why I got in on this, and then we'll move on to the other one. So VTVT. This is a play that we've been talking about now for the past 2 days. It's a play that's been very hot. It's been a play that's been taking on off. It's been a play that we have been watching since pre-market this morning. A play that I played 2 days ago on this very big initial run-up. I played it on this run-up as well. Actually had a bounce play on this. I made $1,700 on this. You can watch this on another video on our YouTube channel like 3 days ago. Just look back at our videos and you guys will be able to see that. But this was a stock that we are ready for today as well. If it went on a nice big breakout, we sent it out in our morning newsletter. And VTVT, if you guys are wondering why this is on high watch this morning, as this stock is a mid-candle breakout pattern, one of Dekmar Trade's famous mid-candle breakout patterns. 3 days ago, the stock released a very strong press release stating that Forbes is in a purchase agreement to buy 1.8 million shares of VTVT. This led the stock to spiking nearly $6. After a strong pullback yesterday, we did see buyers return this morning as the stock had a very nice gap up. High alert for the mob, which is the majority of traders, to move into this play today. The stock is under under 1 million in float. Strong support at 306, which is the 200-day moving average, if it ever came down that low. So VTVT, breaking this down, going over to pre-market. We saw, all eyes, all attention towards the stock in pre-market. Everyone's playing VTVT this morning, waking up, seeing the stock, go on some nice movement, and it's going on a nice big rip. This week, if you guys have been watching my lessons, watching my recaps, if you guys have been in chat, or if you guys are just tuning in for the recaps, what have you guys noticed? I have not gone on one breakout yet. Every single play I've gotten into has been a bounce play this week. Because I've been late. You know what? If VTVT goes from $3 and spikes all the way up to, $4, I can't get in on that. I can't. That's me. I'm not saying you can't. I can't. Why? Because I just feel like if I'm going to hop in at $1 late, it's going to turn on me and it's going to dump. Now, sometimes I'm, exactly right with that, and sometimes it runs, $2 to $3 more. But I just can't buy in that late because I've been burned in the past and it hurts. It's not fun. You're like, oh, should I hop in? Should I hop in? Should I hop in? You hop in and you lose. And you're like, why did I do that? So I've been waiting for the bounce plays as best as I can, and that's all I've done all week. So if I switch back to, let's say, a 3-minute time frame right here, or let's go actually go towards around a 2-minute time frame right here, I try to look back at where's the best bounce play on the stock. Where's the best bounce play? VTVT just went on a nice morning rip. Where can I get my bounce play at? Where would be the best area? So I look back in pre-market and I see, okay, the stock came back down and it has a lower shadow right here at 360 to 365. All right, cool. And now the stock came up right here, right up towards around 360. Okay, cool. And now the stock came up right here up towards 360. Okay, cool. And the stock had resistance right here around 368. So let's say I have 368, 360, 360. We have a 365, support, a bounce play. So where's like the common consensus? Probably right around 365, 364, right? So VTVT has a nice big spike all the way up to 435. And if it comes all the way back down towards around this 360 mark, that's like, a 60-cent drop right there. That's a 60, 70-cent drop. That's a nice drop. That's a nice, healthy drop right there. And that's more than enough, I think, for, sellers to go out and buyers to start moving back on in. I'm not going from like $4.30 to $4. I'm going from, $4.30 all the way back down to $3.60. I think this is a good area to look to get in, especially with all the old resistance, which holds up as new support. So I hop in on this play, as you guys know, at the exact price of 365. 365, I limit order in on that stock. So I pick my exact price. I limit order on that play right here at 365, and the stock starts climbing. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If it gets upwards around $4, that's where I'll probably lock in my profit. Ultimately, I wanted to see the stock come on in. I got in right here on this bounce of 365, and I just wanted to see a nice little climb all the way back up to $4. I noticed what? 375, a natural resistance line every 25 cents in the market. It needs to stay above 375. 375 is an area you guys should know as a trader, as an experienced trader. We know every 25 cents is a psychological move to be able to move on up and be able to get a lot of big time buying volume. If we cannot break that, psychological wall, such as 375 or $4 or 425 or 450 or something like that, what happens? Traders get scared and they dump the play because they're like, oh, we can't get above 375. I got to get out. Oh, we can't get above, 225. I got to get out. So what happens? It comes up to 375. You know what happens? Traders get a little nervous. It comes back down to 359. I'm not really too nervous yet. I'm going to say, let me give it another chance. So I wait for it to get another chance. It comes back on up, comes back up to 375. And this is where I'm like, okay, this is my make or break now. Either we're going up to $4 now, or traders are going to get scared and dump it off. And what happened? It came up to 375, 373, 372, 370. Right when I saw 369, what I do? I just market ordered out, got filled at the same price I got filled in on my entry. I made $0 on this trade. I got in, got out. I didn't end up taking, a loss all the way back down to 337. I knew that the wall right here, the psychological wall of 375 was holding up too strong, and I wanted to get out. Now, later on, did it eventually, get this breakout later on? And you could see 375 even held up here and here and here. And finally, when it did break up 375, that's when we got that nice rip. But this 375 right here is obviously a very, very tough mark. It's definitely a very tough area. So I see this play. I see, VTVT. I'm going to skip the VXRT trade for a second, and we'll stay on VTVT. So later on, we come back, and VTVT is moving on up. And now VTVT is going on a nice spike. Again, I can't chase. Again, I can't get in on this play because it already went all the way from 360 and ran all the way up to 450. So where am I looking to get in now? Where can I get in on this play? Well, again, let me look at some old resistance lines, right? Let me look at some old resistance lines that are going to definitely help. And I noticed that this stock runs up to this mark right here, right around 395, and comes back on down. Okay, and then when we break 395, that's where, some nice buying volume comes in. And I also know 395 is right next to the open. And I also notice 395 is, or 390, like 392 is right at this bottom shadow right here. And we also have a little open right at 395. And we also have this tops right here around $4 and 395. So I say, okay, you know what? If this stock falls all the way down from 450 all the way down to 395, most likely there's going to be buying. There's going to be other people like me that are going to be buying at this mark here and here and here and here and here and here. Old resistance, new support. Now again, resistance. Now resistance. Now it's going to be coming back down, holding as support. So what do? I put a limit order at 394, 393, 395, 392. So I'm getting filled all around this 390 area. I'm not chasing at the top. I'm buying at bottoms. And the stock comes back down to the bottom. I get filled on this. The stock shoots all the way back up towards 409, and just from there, I'm able to lock out at 405, 402, and then it came all the way back down to 395. That's where I locked in my rest, and I was able to make again $363, or I made $330, excuse me. So you can see on VTVT, I made $330. VXRT, I made $33. And then the stock, eventually came back on down. Why? Because just like before, it couldn't hold $4. Since it couldn't hold $4, traders got nervous and dumped it on off. Now it's trying to get back up to $4, but again, it's same exact thing when it was trying to hold 375. It was above it, it couldn't, so it came back down. It came back above $4. Right when it goes back down to 390, that's where you lock out because the thing is going to dump. Only this time, I locked out my profit on the first bounce rather than waiting and trying to give it another chance. Right? So VTVT, I locked out my profit on the first bounce. I did the same exact thing if you guys are wondering on VXRT. VXRT, where did I get in on this play? Again, I got in at 618, or I got in at 615. Why did I get in at 615? Because this stock, I know it has a lot of $6 support, but I was just kind of going a little bit more off a hunch on this one. This was a little bit more of an experience move that, it just ran. It had a lot of 650 resistance. It hit 650, 650, 650, or excuse me, $6, $6, $6. $6 is obviously going to hold up as some sort of support line. Bounce here at $6, went up to 17. Bounce here at $6, went all the way back up towards around 615, and then it eventually crashed. I was going off 615 just because sometimes 615 holds up as the mark. Usually, sometimes it goes all the way, let's say from $6 to 650. It won't go all the way back down to $6. It may stop a little bit early and then start moving on up. So I was getting a little bit frisky here and went for a little 615 action. 615 did hold up as a very nice bounce play, and it did go from $6 right up towards around or 615. Got a perfect entry, right up to 630. Then it came back down to 615, and then it went back up towards around 625. Now I know what my natural resistance line every 25 cents was 625. Needs to hold above 625. I saw it go 624, 623, 622, 621, and then I was just like, I got to get out because it's starting to look weak. People are starting to sell. I got out, market ordered out at 618, and also got filled at 615. So I went for my first bounce play on VTVT, nailed the bounce play, but unfortunately, again, what happened? I nailed the bounce play down here towards around 360. Unfortunately, again, what happened? It couldn't get above 375 because of Friday weakness. The stock came on out, but what I'm very happy with is what? I got out at the same exact area I entered. I did not lose any sort of profit. I saw it getting weak. I got out. I moved over to VXRT, looked for another bounce play. I'm not chasing. I'm looking for the bounce play. What happens? The stock comes back on down. I'm not buying at the top. It can't break up through 625. I notice weakness. I get out, a couple cents up, made $30. Let me stick with my game plan. VTVT, I'm not chasing. The stock already went on its rip. I accept that, but you know what? I can still make money. Where can I do it? At the bounce play, where it had resistance here and support here and resistance here and resistance here. Bounce play right here. I was able to make my money. I know I got to lock it in on a Friday. I already had 2 opportunities. Let me lock this in. And that's where I made $330, making my total profit of $363 on the day. Now, with that being said, I want everyone to understand that, guys. I want everyone to be able to say, hey, you know what? I was able to make some nice profit on this play. I was able to make some nice money on this play. And it's all about staying disciplined. That's what it's about. Be in control of your emotions and what different aspects. One, not chasing, right? We all know that if you are late to a play, you're probably going to end up losing. If we bought at 450, we would have ended up losing. If we looked at my other play, sometimes I always forget this one, VXRT. If we look at VXRT, and guess what? If we bought at the top right here at 650, we would have ended up losing. So VTVT, we bought up at 650, we would have ended up losing. VTVT, if we bought up at 450, we would have ended up losing. So what can we do? Wait for a bounce play. If you're late, who cares? There's going to be other opportunities for you guys to make money on that same stock in a bounce play manner. You could short that stock. You can look for a breakout later, or you can just move on to another play. So you got to have discipline like that for not to chase it. And also, you have to have discipline to lock in your gains, especially on a Friday. Is the stock, or is the price of $363 going to change my life today? No, it's not going to change my life today. But you know what? That adds up. Imagine if I made $363 every single day. I times that by 5. That's $1,815 a week. Okay, let's times that by 4. That's $7,260, guys, a month. And now let's times that by 12. That's $87,120 a year. People don't think like that. People say, I made $200. Everyone else is making $1,000. It's not that good. It's like that's $87,000 a year if you can do that every single week, right? How great is that? So I'm able to finish off my week with $2,410 in profit. Not the biggest week of my life, but still a very solid week, which I'm very excited about. And what makes me very happy, as you guys know, as always, like to show you guys off, is you guys making it in the profit. And they're not the biggest gains in the world, but they're more than what you guys had, and it's growing your account. 53 bucks, 74 bucks, 192 bucks, 225 bucks, 60, 70, 120 on paper, 390, 160. Just nice solid gains to be able to grow your account. It's not a supernova day, but I'm happy that you guys are noticing, noticing these small bounce plays and taking advantage of them. Not every day needs to change our lives. Not every day needs to be a supernova, but we can progressively grow our accounts every single day and add a little bit of money in that bank account, little fun money right into that bank account, drop it right on in. So I'm proud of myself for not chasing. I'm proud of myself for locking in my gains. And I'm also proud of myself for not waiting until a stock hits a stop loss for me to get out, which is something a lot of rookie traders always need, right? A lot of rookie traders if they buy in at $4, even if the stock looks weak, they wait until it hits their stop loss because they're like, oh, well, maybe it'll go on up. You got to get out of that mindset and understand if a stock looks weak, get out of your play. You don't need to see red to understand it's a bad play. If a stock is weak, get out of it. If the stock starts falling back on down, if it doesn't get the bounce you want, if the level 2 is starting to look low on volume and looking low on strength, what do you got to do? Get out when you're even. I would much rather break even like I did in my first play or make $30 that I did on my second play than lose 120 for me to be able to say, yeah, this is probably not the best idea. And then do another play and lose 200 and me to say, yeah, I probably should have got out a little earlier. And for me just to make, 300 bucks and then all I did was break even on the day, right? So if you guys notice these things, you guys can break even on your plays. And what does stock trading come down to? We're all going to take losses. We're all going to have plays that don't work out. But if we can limit those losses as quick as possible, that's the best thing. And especially if you can just make small profits, which kind of count as your losses, like today, again, like VXRT, that a $30 play. It wasn't the play I wanted. I noticed it was getting weaker. I got out with a small profit before it dumped, right? VT, my first trade on it. I got a nice little bounce play on it. I didn't lock in my profits. I know, it's going to start turning now. I locked in my profits before it dumped. Now, again, finally nailed my bounce play, was able to make my money. And, I'm staying solid on my trades and, staying profitable and green. So I'm very happy with that. Fridays, as we know, do get a little bit tougher. I just want to make sure I explain this and for you guys to understand my credibility. You guys get the education behind it. And you guys can see the transparency on every trade I do. So awesome job, guys, and happy Friday.